The guns fell silent on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, 1918. After more than 4 years of carnage, World War I had ended. But the silence hid a far deeper turmoil. The war may have ended, but peace was not guaranteed. In Paris, the victors were preparing a treaty that would shape the fate of nations and sow the seeds for an even greater catastrophe. In January 1919, more than 24 nations gathered in Paris to decide the future of a shattered world. But behind the grand facades, the so-called peace conference was dominated by just 4 men, known as the Big Four. President Wilson came with his 14 points, a vision of peace, self-determination, and a new League of Nations. But France's Clemenceau demanded revenge. He had seen his country invaded twice by Germany within 50 years. Britain's Lloyd stood somewhere in between, seeking to punish Germany, but not destroy her entirely. Italy's Orlando, meanwhile, struggled to even stay at the table. Germany, the defeated empire, was not allowed to participate in the negotiations. They were summoned only to accept the terms, not debate them. The message was clear. This was not peace through dialogue. This was a dictated settlement. The Treaty of Versailles placed full blame for the war on Germany. Article 231, the infamous war guilt clause, was deeply humiliating. Germany was to pay crushing reparations. Her army was slashed, her navy dismantled, and her empire carved up. Alsace-Lorraine returned to France. The Rhineland was demilitarized, and in the east, a new Poland was born, dividing German lands and separating East Prussia by the so-called Polish Corridor. Across Germany, the treaty was seen as a betrayal. Even those who hated the Kaiser felt humiliated. The new Weimar Republic, only weeks old, was forced to sign under threat of renewed war. Nationalists called it a diktat, a dictated peace. Seeds of resentment, ripe for exploitation, were planted in German soil. Germany wasn't the only one punished. The Austro-Hungarian Empire was dismantled, giving rise to new states, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, and a larger Romania. The Ottoman Empire lost its Arab lands to French and British mandates. Bulgaria was shrunk, but these new borders often